it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. I have to apologise, my voice is a little croaky at the moment. I've had a bit of a chest infection. It's getting better, but I have got a bit of a croak, and obviously talking doesn't make it any better. However, welcome to another Inspire Create Challenge, and today we have a sketch. I've taken the sketch with a little pinch of salt, but that's really kind of what it's all about. So I have made my panel, so we've got the, when you go over to my blog, which is linked below, you click on the associated blog post in the description bar below, you'll see a picture of the sketch, which is basically a band and then a circle. So the format is pretty close to this, but I've taken it to be a gate, well, not a gatefold, but a fold back card, and instead of the circle I've used the lovely limited edition Call Me Cupcake framelit dies, which give you all these extra bits and pieces. So I'm going cupcake, cupcake, cupcake with a bit of gingham thrown in for good measure. I'm using the Hello Cupcake stamp set, but rather than the sentiments in here, I'm using the More Than Words stamp set, which is another of the coordination sale-a-bration items. So this is sale-a-bration coordination, this is sale-a-bration coordination, so you can buy these to help you earn the stamp set. So £45 gets you a free item from any of the sale-a-bration offerings. All the details of those are over on my website, so I'm not going to spend too much time on those. So let's get started. I'm going to make exactly the same card, well, as near as one can make exactly the same card. So I'm starting with a standard A5 scored down the middle base. I'm going to grab my scoreboard with the metric plate. Now obviously you can do this just on your trimmer, but I like my metric plate because it does all of this for me. So I've already scored that way up at 10.5 centimetres. I'm turning over to score at 5.25 centimetres, and as I say, I don't have to do the maths because it's all done there for me. So that's that, and the reason I've done that is that in an ideal world, and you know, we all live in that, when you come to do a fold back, you want to do the scoring as if it was a standard card, so you fold towards the mountain in each case. So you are going to want to flip your card base over. It's not the end of the world if you don't, but you know, it's better if you do. This is the Gingham Gala paper. I've already cut this bit off because that's on the front of my other card, so I'm going to put the next one, use this to put the next one on. So bear with me while I grab my snail. So we've had a little bit of excitement over the last weekend because my father, who bless him, has just been on a cruise. He has been taken not terribly well. So he's currently not in the country, but is in a hospital in Norway. So it's all a little exciting. He's well. It's not serious, so he is well. We're just currently trying to work out how we're going to get him home. But fortunately the tour operator that he was travelling with will help us with that. So that's all good. We just have to wait and see. Something I'm so good at? Not really. Right, so from the back I'm going to trim away the excess paper. Now I find it easier to do it this way, so stick too much on and trim it down, rather than trying to cut a piece of paper that is exactly the right size. Because I'm not putting a border around the outside of my designer series paper, I want it to be right on the edge, and with the best will in the world, this is never going to be an exact measurement. I mean, it is going to be an exact measurement, but I'm never going to be able to cut something that is exactly the same measurement, so I over cut and then trim back, and just use your card base as the guide for where you should trim. And there we go, beautifully straight, beautifully sized piece of paper. So I need some scraps of Whisper White, and I'm literally using scraps for the stamping. I'm going to go with the same colourway, so we are going Grapefruit Grove, Daffodil Delight and Crumb Cake, because why wouldn't I want the crumb cake coloured. I'm going to start with the cupcake base, so just ink that up in Grapefruit Grove and stamp that. That's not quite all the stamping we need with that, so I'm going to do the rest of the stamping that we need with the Grapefruit Grove now. So I've got mounted up from the More Than Words set. Today calls for something sweet and with extra sprinkles on top, which are the stamps that specifically go with the cupcakes. So I'm going to start with the Today Calls for Something Sweet in the top right, and then the with extra sprinkles on top I'm going to pop towards the bottom, and this will then be hidden behind the fold and the cupcake. So whereas, oh actually it's hidden anyway, but were it to have come slightly further out, it would be hidden behind the cupcake. So that's kind of why I've gone with that positioning. So that's all we need that for. Then, so I'll pop that to one side. Another scrap. And Daffodil Delight. Oh, excuse me, sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Don't know where that came from, other than it's sunny today, and I think I've had the sun in my face, so that's probably why I've sneezed. It's not because I've got a sore throat. That much I do know. Now, on the original, I did put the sprinkles on top, but then I decided I was going to use the matching sequins, so you don't actually need the sprinkles from the stamp set. So that's that, and then finally, I'm going to bring the other piece of scrap in for that. I've got the cake bit, and this is this funny little sort of swirl, which I'm not sure that everyone quite understands that. Well, certainly my brain, that is definitely the cake, because you've got the case, the frosting, and then the cake sort of poking through. Anyway, so I'm just going to run those through on my Big Shot. Just trim that down because I don't need all of that. So, and we've got all these lovely dies. So I'm just going to line those up. I'm using the magnetic base plate, which is always a help. And I'll show you the dies once I've got everything cut. And that one. Okay, so pop that, that through. So that's the base, and then the top, which even cuts out, can you see it's cut out, that little swirl? And then that's the cake itself, so we don't need the scraps, don't need that. That's the base. Now let me just show you the other dies you get. So those are the three that make the cupcake, and then note to self, don't stick the cover back down when you've still got tape exposed. So we get candles, a little star stick, a heart, which is the one I've used, flower, which goes, these two go with the stamp set, because there's a flower and a heart stick, some just little hearts. This is the base of the cake stand, and then another little flag, and of course the cake stand itself. Now I have cut the cake stand down because I didn't want it quite so tall, so all I've done is pop this towards the edge of the cardstock, so I've just moved everything up. Otherwise you could just trim it off to the length you want, but don't think you have to make it this big, is basically what I'm saying. You can cut it down to the size that you need. Right, okay, so let's build everything up. First things first is some adhesive to stick the case to the cake. I'm going to have to cough. Excuse me, I've been trying to save my voice so that it's ready for videos, but I'm going to get a drink, bear with me. This is where I hope my tea is not too hot. It is, however, quite warm. Okay, so that's that stuck on, and then grab some dimensionals, and I kind of like to overlap the seam. You don't need too many, just a few. Excuse me, I've got a real tickle now. Just pop that down. And then a few on. Now my voice is going, of course. I do apologise for the uncouth noises. Once I have a tickle, it kind of sticks for around for a while. Okay, let's try. Right, so this then just pops on top of the cake and is just inside the dome. Now, I'm just going to add some glue to the bottom of this, and then that sticks on the bottom of the dome. And I've just overlapped that. Oops, it would help, of course, if I had actually stuck it down properly. Just overlap that with the bottom of the dome. Just like that. And then a mini dimensional on the back of our little heart. Which I shall just pop there. That's the dimensionals dimensionaled. Right, okay. So here is our card base. I'm going to just add to the top, just colour in the handle with just a blend. This is the Smoky Slate Dark, but you could probably do this in any colour. It's just the top of the dome, so not vital as far as colour is concerned. And then just pop this down, and I want it so that everything is on that side of the card. Just turn it over, and with a pencil, I'm just going to bring it back a little bit and just mark where that edge is. So long as I've come over that pencil mark just a wee bit, then I'll have the glue in the right place. So, glue. And it's this side that we need the glue on. And then I like to do this from the back, so I don't want it down at the bottom. And then you can use the lines on the gingham just to make sure that everything is straight, which it is. And then finally, our sprinkles. So I'm using the Gingham Gala sequins, and I'm just using, these are the Grapefruit Grove ones. They come in all the colours of the Gingham Gala, so Highland Heather, Balmy Blue, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist. Some of them are iridescent and some of them are more solid. And then I'm going to pop, whoops, one of the flowers in the centre of my heart. And there we go. Our two sweet cupcakes. So I hope you enjoyed that. Have a look at the coordination items. They really are amazing. It's a first for Stamping Up to do the coordination items to go with the sale-a-bration pieces. So do have a look at it, but it's a great idea. What I do know is as at recording this video, which is ahead of when it's published, the ones that go with the frogs, the Oh So Hoppy, were on back order, and there weren't that many due in. So assuming they're still available, if you want them, do not hesitate. Get them now. And remember, they will add onto your order so that you can then get a free sale-a-bration item. So for £45, every multiple thereof, you get a level 1 for £45 and either 2 level 1s or a level 2 for £90. And then also remember that if you buy regularly, then do have a look at whether the best deal for you is actually to join my team, which you can do if you're in France, Germany, Austria or the Netherlands, or of course the UK. We are European-wide now as Sunflowers, so it would be great if you wanted to join the team. And as I say, if you're a regular purchaser, then that really is the best deal in the catalogue, because you'll then get a discount on all your future purchases. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I apologise for the coughing fit, but if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below. The associated blog post with all the information and some close-up photos and a link to everybody else's posts for this challenge is over on my website, which is linked below. Do go and have a look at those, and then of course take part. It's great to see your interpretation of these things, and it's a very straightforward sketch. So regardless of whether you use Stamping Up products or not, although of course personally I wouldn't see why you wouldn't use Stamping Up products, but whatever products you've got, do give it a go, and we look forward to seeing those. Thank you very much indeed for joining, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye!